Affirmative action and quotas are about two different things. Affirmative action is about providing people an opportunity they might not otherwise get.
I don't know how you can talk about providing opportunity while at the same time supporting racial profiling.
What the hell is... I don't support racial profiling.
Your nominee for Attorney General did. Can you tell us why you nominated him?
Why?
Yes.
Because bite me, that's why.
It's a legitimate question.
It's been almost 4 years, Sam. How long do you want to say I told you so?
He wasn't saying, I told you so, sir. We need an answer on Rooker.
What's wrong with bite me?
I think we'd lose.
Not in New Jersey.
It's never been shown that racial profiling works, and I'm against it.
That answer's pretty simple, isn't it?
We can make it more complicated.
A lot of people in... Mr. President, do you mind if I...
No.
I think she was talking to me there, Dexter. What?
A lot of people in law enforcement believe profiling helps them do their job better. Not everyone's against it.
I'm against it.
And so are the voters, but I think what
How you doing there, Joey? Kippy?
Kenny.
Okay.
I think, Mr. President, that what Congresswoman Wyatt was saying is that if we can figure out a way to make this answer about the drug war, then we can talk about successes.
Is that what you were saying, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but Richie will bring it back to Rooker and the fact that you don't know what your position on racial
I
profiling
do know
is.
what my position is.
We're losing the question. Fundamentally, it's what was the story with Rooker.
We gave him our full support until it became clear that an increasingly divided Congress was going to shoot down our
We
nominee.
didn't give him our full support. We withdrew the nomination.
Why not blow past the nomination fight and give a strong...
Blow past the
Give a
nomination.
strong, unambiguous statement in support of law
Of course,
enforcement.
that's not going to be the
Nobody's
question.
for stronger, fairer law enforcement.
That's not going to be the question.
Why not just say we screwed up? Mr. Rooker is a devoted crime fighter. We had our differences. But on this, all Americans can agree.
Excuse me?
Success... Yes, sir.
Were you doing me just then?
I was offering an
Or
answer.
were you doing me?
I may have slipped into it, yes.
Anybody else do a pretty good Bartlett? It's talent night here at debate camp. Anybody want to do a little skit?
No, sir.
Still looking for 10 words.
I'm still looking for him, too.
10 words, 10 words. Let's go.
We're going to expand the field.
No notes during this drill. That's you too.
What's that?
No notes during the drill.
Why?
He's in his head.
There's pretty important feedback in the 2-minute drills.
We've got 4 more. We've got 1 on the plane.
When's Debbie actually starting?
The president sent her to the Maxwell School for a 3-day crash course in everything.
You know, you got a $10 bill in there on your clipboard.
Yeah, I owe it to someone.
You can all go on in. Thank you.
10 words. 10 words.
We don't have them yet, Mr. President.
All right, let's do a drill.
Mr. President, despite a rise in tension around the globe, you've held up funding for a missile defense shield.
Too much money for too little protection.
Good.
Next.
Sir, you oppose a voucher system that would offer children a choice of better schools.
That would offer some children a choice of better schools, but I haven't given up the ghost on better schools for everybody, and vouchers drain money from that goal.
Mr. President, this next question is on capital punishment, which you oppose. If your youngest daughter, Zoe, was raped and murdered, would you not want to see the man responsible put to death?
First of all, it's important to understand that the president doesn't make that decision, though he appoints Supreme Court justices who do so. Why? All right, I'm not going to say that. I'll just go right to, no, I don't. I think you know that I'm opposed. Let's not do that. I haven't seen any evidence that it's a deterrent, and there are more effective. In my state.
Oh, my God.
What?
You weren't kidding. What's the matter with you? When I left you, I just mentioned your daughter being murdered, and you're giving us an answer that's not only soporific, it's barely human. Yes, you'd want to see him put to death. You'd want it to be cruel and unusual, which is why it's probably a good idea that fathers of murder victims don't have legal rights in these situations. Now we're going back to school.
Let's go, $10. Crisis of confidence. You did 1 square foot of real estate?
Yes, I did.
$10 for you. And you big bear, come to me. I'm gonna kiss you right on the mouth.
$10.
Anything else, sir?
Work hard.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you, Mr. President. Oh. Have a safe flight.
I'll see you in San Diego.
Sorry about that. It was the president's idea.
Where's Mrs. Bartlet?
Already inside the car, sir.
Nice speech.
No JFK.
No, but you've got time. I left something for you on the desk. Just some random thoughts.
I look forward to them, sir.
Make me proud, Mr. President.
I'll do my best, Mr. President.
What in the world was he trying to prove by not wearing an overcoat?
Youth and vigor. He looked like a leader,
He looked like a lunatic.
a young and vigorous lunatic.
Jed? You made it. You're still here.
Yeah. I'm still here.
Shall we get started with the Joint Chiefs, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Can you believe it?
All we had to do was get shot at.
81%.
Those numbers are soft.
You think?
You don't?
A week ago, the job approval's at 51. We get shot at, it's at 81. Yeah, I think the numbers are soft.
Still 81%.
Good morning, everybody. Anybody know what the word acalculia means?
It's an inability to perform arithmetic functions. I'm sorry, Mr. President, you wanted to answer your own question, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'll get over it.
Good for you, sir. That's very mature.
Shut up.
Not over yet, are you?
No.
Okay.
Did we really poll at 81%?
Those aren't internals at CNN USA Today.
It's soft.
No.
When asked whose approach on important national problems do you think is generally best, President Bartlet or the Republican leaders of Congress, Bartlet gets 61%.
Well, 19% of the country has clearly made up their minds about me. 20% just feel sorry for me, which is what you want if you're the leader of the free world. Give us an overview.
Mr. President, we've got an honest-to-God shot at taking back the House,
Taking back the House and possibly picking up 2 seats net in the Senate.
as well as 2 governorships and maybe a half-dozen state houses.
Where should we be looking?
Indiana 6th, California 4th and 14th.
Michigan 12th.
Michigan 12th, Texas 12th.
Florida 4, 5, and 9.
They're not going to elect a Democrat in the Florida 9th.
I'm sorry, Florida 8th.
They're not going to elect a Democrat there either, but let's put some time into it. What else?
Alcohol, you can call me back.
An inability to perform arithmetic functions.
Sure.
Apparently, there's a specialized circuit in the brain for numbers. You know where it is?
I'm sorry?
It's in the left parietal lobe.
Thank you.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, Margaret, where's Mrs. Lanningham?
A funeral. The president's in the Roosevelt room.
I wasn't here to see my father, I was here to see him.
Do you know what a calculia means?
Yes, because I got it at breakfast.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi.
Charlie, Mrs. Lanningham asked me to ask you to call technical support and have them look at her computer.
Yeah.
You're supposed to ask for a man named Andrew McIntosh. He's the only one she trusts.
Macintosh?
Like the apple?
Sure.
Thank you.
I called you at home last night.
I didn't get home till late.
Where were you?
I was here.
Called here too.
I'm not lying to you, Zoe.
You're lying to me, Charlie. I just think you were either at home or here and didn't return my call.
I was here. I didn't get the message. I was home. I got the message. I didn't return your call because it was late.
I don't mind being woken up.
Well, now I know that.
Now you know that.
Excuse me.
We have been dating for 9 months.
I've got to go in there.
Cumberland, Monroe, possibly Stanwyck.
Since you brought up Cumberland and Monroe, can I say a word about the shooting? It's been a week and the honeymoon's about to be over.
She's right.
We want to be sure it doesn't look like we're taking advantage of the situation.
Why not?
Why not what?
The entire country was the victim of domestic terrorism. Why not use the soft numbers before they disappear and go after the guns and go after the hate groups?
It doesn't look good.
Looks good to me.
Well, you work for the White House, Toby. I think we were counting on your support either way.
Mr. President.
CJ, if you get questions about the midterm, say we haven't thought that far ahead due to recent events.
And when they ask about the linkage between the approval numbers and the shooting, The president's deeply gratified by the public's support, but eager to focus on the issues.
Which will be?
I'll let you know. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
It's fine. Tell him around 3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Was Zoe out there?
Yes, sir.
Is she still here?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Leo,
Yes, sir.
did you know Elliot Roush is running for the school board in Manchester?
I didn't, sir, but then I don't know who Elliot Roush
Elliot
is.
Roush.
Yes?
My Elliot Roush.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm still
I
not...
beat him in my first congressional campaign.
I can't believe I didn't commit that piece of arcane information to memory.
I want some polling numbers on that race.
I don't want you focusing your attention on the school board race in New Hampshire.
Yeah, because looking at 2 numbers on a piece of paper really takes the life out of me.
I know where this is
Get
going.
me the numbers, and let me tell you something.
No.
I'm ready to go out there.
No.
I don't need to wait another week.
Sir, let's play a game of who do you think I'm going to agree with? 14 doctors say you should wait another week before assuming a campaign schedule. Who do you think I'm going to agree with?
Get away from me.
Yes, sir.
Saying I could have used your support in there.
You get my support the same way I get yours, when I agree with what you're saying or when I don't care about what you're saying. This time I disagree.
You don't think we should use this moment to get aggressive about guns and hate groups?
I think we were victims of a violent crime, and it's unseemly to use this moment at all.
We didn't get the country drunk, CJ. We're not taking advantage of anybody. And even if we were, who cares?
Every Republican spending the next 12 weeks trying to keep control of the House?
CJ.
Toby, if you and the FBI want to go after hate groups, I'm not the one you have to convince. Go bag the president.
I will.
I've gotten a lot of calls about pieces people want to do on how staffers are handling the shooting and the aftermath.
Psychologically?
Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea, do you?
We're not the story.
That's what I'm saying.
Sanctity of marriage?
That's right, Mr. President.
On the budget?
Yes, sir.
Didn't they attach a family planning rider to the highway bill last year?
They did.
What's with these people? They can't stop talking about sex.
If they can't be having it.
Am I having a flashback, or is this my brain going?
No, sir. Last time they called it Marriage Recognition Act, first term pocket veto.
Who is this?
Wilkinson.
What's Wilkinson doing on the conference committee?
That's what we said.
It's a guts move by the leadership. We've just got to slap it down.
We threaten a veto, make it clear this kind of ambush is unacceptable. We should get going on a statement
You're
now.
gonna think twice before they force it on the shutdown.
I disagree. It's a bad pitch. Don't swing at it. That's why they're throwing it. Is there any doubt it would get overturned by the courts, Josh?
Oh, it's not likely. So far, anything short of full recognition for same-sex partners is a constitutional no-go.
This amendment is pure symbolism. It's an empty gesture. Is that worth holding up our entire agenda?
Get it off the bill, guys.
And if we can't?
Just get it off the bill.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Wilkinson's more of a federalist than an ideologue. What's he doing suggesting we override the states?
The courts will take care of that. We need this budget, sir. At the end of the day, you may have to sign it.
What was that about?
Well, you didn't say you wouldn't veto it.
Didn't say he would.
We can get this done.
You want to enlighten us?
He wants it off the bill.
Yeah, we get that.
We're not going to play a game of chicken in the middle of a $2 trillion budget round.
We're always in the middle of a $2 trillion budget round.
With a president who can't make it down the stairs?
But he's not running again. Why can't we help him stand up for himself?
The president made the call. Let's get it off the bill.
Josh, try and dole out some budgetary pork to members of the conference committee. See if we can get this amendment killed.
Okay. Maybe Sioux City needs a monorail.
I'm late for the First Lady. Toby, why don't you share your feelings with Wilkinson? See if you can talk him down.
With what? A threat that if he doesn't back off, the president might actually sign it.
You'll figure it out.
Got a minute?
You should call first so I can gather my wits.
Sorry.
You seen the federal government or a bunch of dinks.com?
And what if I reject the premise?
They're all over this CJ thing.
Anything new?
They got her high school basketball stats. Apparently she was all Dayton.
You heard about the Sanctity of Marriage Amendment.
Just now.
President wants it stripped off the budget.
Good.
Be nice if the vice president made some kind of statement against it, maybe called Wilkinson.
The vice president is pro-marriage.
As are we all. I've been married almost twice to the same woman.
That's unique.
We're fine with it.
Okay, then.
So the VP will make a statement?
What's the president's position?
He wants it off the bill.
But what's his position?
He wants it off the bill.
And if it stays on the bill?
We need your help on this.
Right, this is a lose-lose for us, Toby. We come out for it. We hurt ourselves in the primaries. We come out against it. We hurt ourselves in the general. I'd have to advise the VP to wait and see where the president's going to land.
No, I want to kill it before it learns how to walk.
But I don't know what you're doing here. You should be talking to the president about a veto.
Good idea. Senator Wilkinson.
Oh, I've been waiting for an emissary. Figured it'd be the vice president.
Senator, you're one of this country's great federalists. You believe in state and local control of education.
I do?
You believe in state and local control of law enforcement.
Yep.
Senator, I'm not sure you think there should be a federal government at all.
Well, we lost that fight some time ago, didn't we?
So why would you want an unprecedented top-down federal mandate to govern every state's marital laws?
Well, now that we have a federal government, one thing it can do is protect our national values.
Such as individual freedoms?
Actually, I was thinking of the institution of marriage.
When the budget's done, let's get a bipartisan group together to talk about it.
I don't need another thoughtful study to tell me what I know to be right.
Senator, I'm not criticizing the sincerity of your beliefs.
Well, that's refreshing. Tell me, do you believe the Bible to be literally true?
Yes, sir, but I don't think either of us is smart enough to understand it. The president wants this amendment off his budget.
Well, if you're here to threaten a veto, now's the time to do it. Yeah, I'm a busy man. I don't appreciate your coming down here with hollow threats.
And I don't appreciate people spreading politically motivated rumors about C.J. Craig on the internet.
I don't know how to use a typewriter, much less a computer. I think the president is going to sign it, Toby. And I think that you're here because you think he might sign it, too.
You were up all night.
Do you know why?
Oliver.
Because my staff's work on the analysis of H.R. 437 ignored the Fourth Amendment implications and instead became fascinated with the 3rd, 7th, and 11th.
Please.
Like you gotta be a prime number to get the attention of the U.S. Supreme Court.
You can really go home and get a few hours sleep before you go to the airport.
That's why I was up all night. Where am I going?
You're going on vacation.
Wait, it's coming back to me.
Oliver.
Not a vacation.
You'll
It's
have a-
not a vacation. It's a forced vacation.
In Borneo.
There's an international law summit where I'm supposed to show my support for... I'm not certain. So I have that in my notes someplace?
Yes.
I need the amicus brief on sovereign immunity,
there.
federal land use.
It's there.
Would you like us to pack you a big hammer?
Okay, you know what? Don't make fun of the big hammer. Big hammer happens to be a gavel given to my father's father by Justice Louis Brandeis. I need a dictaphone.
You've got one on your desk.
Doesn't work.
What's wrong with it?
Doesn't work.
He's asking.
It's stuck on record. It won't stop recording things, so it's just what you want lying around the White House counsel's office because there's never been a problem with that before.
I'm putting mine in your bag. We'll have that one fixed.
Okay, you know what else?
You're gonna go home and sleep until your plane leaves.
I'm fine sleeping till well after that, but somebody call me when the car's on the way.
Excuse me, Mr. Babish?
I'm going home.
That was Mr. McGarry's office. He's on his way down with the president.
You should fix your tie.
Yeah.
I couldn't disagree more, Cal. As long as these people are funding their public school districts with property taxes, neither the value of the schools nor the value of their property is going to go up. It's a vicious circle. It's terrible, and it has to be stopped.
So we're going to do something about it.
I wouldn't go that far. Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President?
It's a vicious circle, Leo.
Yeah.
Never stops.
Sir?
Just goes round and round.
Look.
Round and round.
Let's go see him.
Now?
He's waiting for us.
We really need to see him now.
What better time?
Well, later.
Let's go.
5 White House consuls in 2.5 years. Corcoran, Gates, Solomon, Tribby. Why can't I keep a head lawyer around here?
Because they all show up thinking they're going to be a counselor to the president, and you never let them in.
I don't like new people.
Oliver Babish isn't a new person. You know each other. Your kids know each other. You built hospitals together. He was Midwest finance chairman on the campaign.
Never played chess, though, have we?
No.
See?
You're scared of Babish.
Oh, like you're not.
No, because we are both men of Chicago.
What is it with people from Chicago that they're so happy to have been born there? I meet so many people who can't wait to tell me they're from Chicago, and when I meet them, they're living anywhere but Chicago.
You wouldn't understand.
He looks down his nose at me because I'm not a lawyer.
Yes.
I didn't go to law school. I got a PhD in economics instead.
Your parents were very proud.
Yeah, and all that happened was I won a Nobel Prize and got elected president. So I guess that decision didn't really pay off.
Yeah.
Should I run back and get my Nobel Prize?
I think he knows you've got one.
Yeah, he's been here 3 months. He's got a nicer office than I do.
He's got a nicer office than I do.
That matters less to me.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Hey, Oliver.
Come on in.
What are the bags for?
I was just heading out on vacation.
Oh. Oh, gosh. Oliver, this can keep.
Mr. President.
Man's bags are packed. Where are you going?
Sarawak.
Asia's best kept secret.
Sir, is this something you'd like to,
It's really not even. I don't want you to worry that much about it.
Sir.
I'm easing in.
Okay.
Well, Oliver, it really boils down to this. I'm going to tell you a story, and then I need you to tell me whether or not I've engaged 16 people in a massive criminal conspiracy to defraud the public in order to win a presidential election.
Okay.
Hi.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Are you friends of Zoe's?
No, sir. Special Agent Jamie Reed, U.S. Secret Service.
Molly O'Connor, sir. Randy Weathers.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Hey.
You remember Wesley Davis?
Wes, thanks so much for doing this. I know it's not what you like.
No, sir. I'm flattered you asked.
So, let's talk about how this is going to work.
Well, these 4 agents will be assigned to the current team of 14. That gets supplemented by a rotating backup group from the Paris office that's more familiar with the region. Wes is a special agent in charge.
Well, here's my question. These guys look pretty young to me, and I'm looking for something very specific with this detail. This is a father-daughter situation, and so I think what I'm looking for in terms of protection would best be characterized as, well, overwhelming force. Do they have that? Do they have the ability to just overwhelm any danger that it might... Do they have overwhelming force?
Attack, Randy.
Wow.
Oh, God, Dad, what are you doing?
This one here tossed Wesley like a bag of potato chips.
Molly, get off of Wesley.
You like calling on me for that one, don't you?
Yep. You guys know each other?
Molly was on Ellie's detail for a while.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, Ellie's still up and running.
Hi, Wes. Sorry about this.
We're gonna be just fine. It's wide perimeter protection. I'm just gonna need you to show me your panic button every day.
When do you start?
1800, sir, 6 p.m. tonight.
Are you going back to the campus?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you consider, instead of living in France with your boyfriend for 3 months, staying here, living in your room and being a candy striper? Or surfing?
A candy striper?
Or surfing? You could spend the summer working in a pet shop. We could play Yahtzee and watch movies at night.
Dad, what fantasy is it that's going through your head right now?
What daughters would do their whole lives if I had my way.
I'll see you later.
Before I forget, if something comes up and you're faced with the choice of killing the boyfriend or not killing the boyfriend, kill the boyfriend.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
How you doing, Wes? Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
You take care of that new detail now. They've got some mimes over there that can be pretty nasty.
Yes, sir.
Harbor Patrol in Portland is reporting that the Agile, a cargo ship in port for 14 hours now, has a container missing. They're supposed to have 46. They have 45.
What's the registry?
They're flying a Nigerian flag, but it's Syrian ownership.
What are we doing on the ground?
The FBI is hunting down everyone who was on the ship.
How long have they been at it?
1 hour.
All right, let's give them another hour. Then have the Coast Guard close the port. Is it the port of Portland? Is it really the port of Portland?
Yeah.
They're gonna lose $700 million a day because these 5 guys are missing. And I just now got why we're having this meeting.
What do you mean?
Portland. Torrential rain in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Screw the hour. Let's close it down.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Hey, did you know that 10 days from now, Toby and Andy can pick a day and the doctor's going to induce? They can decide what day the twins are going to be born.
Well, it's about the last thing they're gonna get to decide. So you choose Tuesday. 20 years later, look what happens.
All right, careful stepping out. There's a street right there. And there you go.
You know, if someone sees us, they're gonna call the police.
Well, I hadn't actually factored that into the plan, but if you'll just come on over here. And there you go. Just go ahead.
You brought me to Jefferson Weiler's house.
Yeah.
Why?
Every time you drive past, you say that it's your dream house.
It is.
And every time the congressman's had us over, you've said it was your dream house.
I wasn't lying.
You told Jeff Weiler that if he ever put it on the market, he wanted to buy it.
I do.
Well, as it turns out, he was going to put it on the market, but he's not anymore because I bought it.
You bought this house?
Yeah.
You bought this house?
Well, yeah, I did.
How did you afford it?
He's here in Washington is not meeting with the Secretary of State or any cabinet level official for that matter. He's not meeting with the UN ambassador or any senior aides representing NATO allies, and he's certainly not meeting with the president. He will be coming to the White House to meet with some of the president's advisors in the Balkans. Who's next?
CJ, Senator-elect Morgan Mitchell is going to announce on Hardball later today that he'll seek a seat on the Foreign Relations Committee and that he'll block a vote on the test ban treaty and prevent it from coming to the floor.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
We'll have a ratified comprehensive test ban treaty.
Mitchell says over his dead body.
I think like all freshmen, Senator-elect Mitchell will discover that he's one of 100 and that his power is considerably more limited than he imagines. That said, the new Senate will ratify the treaty, and we really don't care what condition his body is in when they
CJ.
do. Danny.
Has the president considered ordering a lame duck session so the current Senate can vote on the treaty?
Okay, anybody but Danny?
CJ.
No.
He hasn't considered it.
Danny, I don't know every thought that passes through the president's head, but there have been no discussions.
That you're aware of?
That I'm aware of.
Well, I'd like to know if the president's considered it. Is that something you can check out and get back to us on?
You bet. Who's next?
She walked into it. She knows it, too.
Walked into what?
She can't confirm that the president hasn't considered it unless she asks the president if he's considered it, at which point he'll have considered it.
That sounds pretty stupid.
It was a better organized thought when it was in my head. Is she almost done?
She's wrapping up.
Let's go.
Has he considered it?
No.
Why not?
Why should he?
If he thinks he has a better chance of ratifying the test ban treaty with this Congress than the new one.
He doesn't.
But if Morgan
Mitchell's not a factor.
Josh, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
No.
OSHA.
How do you change subjects so fast?
Josh,
I mean it. How do you go from a test ban treaty and a lame duck Congress to OSHA?
Because I mean, do you know how many people acquire carpal tunnel syndrome?
It shouldn't surprise you to learn that I do not.
600,000 Americans a year. Do you have any idea how painful it is?
Donna, in the scheme of things, who really cares?
Do you have any idea how painful it is?
Yes.
Pain in your forearm, no grip. You lose the ability to pinch.
People who lose the ability to pinch, I gotta tell you, I don't know from where they summon the will to go on.
You guys are on the wrong side of this.
Aren't you one of you guys?
Not on this.
CJ.
I know.
You walked right into it.
There was no other direction to walk. Now, please, just answer no to this question. Has the president considered it?
No.
Good. Listen.
Not that I know of.
Josh.
He hasn't.
Listen.
What?
He should consider it. He should consider it right now.
Mitchell's not going to get a seat on foreign relations. There isn't a seat open on foreign relations.
There's a seat open on appropriations.
Casey will move?
What do you think?
What's going on? Casey wants appropriations, and he has the seniority.
So we'll have to give up budget.
Which Taglio will jump at in a second, which clears the way for Newberry and Senate Armed Services.
Newberry leaving opens up judiciary.
Now, who wants to be named Attorney General under the next Republican president?
Howard Weston.
That's right, so he takes the seat on judiciary.
Vacating his seat on foreign relations.
So there's a seat open on foreign relations. It doesn't mean Morgan Mitchell's going to get it, right?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because nobody else is going to want it.
Why?
Because there's no money in it. Senate Foreign Relations Committee has no control over money, so there's no lobbyists, which means there are no fundraisers.
The Constitution says under extraordinary circumstances.
It's a treaty that's vital to national and global security. What kind of extraordinary circumstances do you have in mind?
These people
Sam,
are...
you've been studying this. Do you think we have less of a chance with the new Congress?
I think we have no chance with the new Congress. And while I've never lived through a massive nuclear explosion of radiation decimating all forms of life in a 200-mile radius, I've seen pictures. And I couldn't agree with Josh more on his interpretation of the extraordinary circumstances clause in the Constitution.
Is Leo free now? In 5 minutes.
These people are gone. The 106th Congress is adjourned. 12 of them were voted out of office. This is bad pool. You go in there and tell the president to call a lame duck session, and he does. It's going to look like politics.
It is politics.
Toby.
Let's see Leo.
What are we going to tell the 12 people who are out there looking for new jobs?
They may not be done with their old ones yet. Casey's going to want appropriations.
And he has the
so
seniority.
he'll have to give up the budget.
Taglio will take that.
Which clears the way for Newberry and Armed Services.
Newberry will vacate his seat on
Which
judiciary.
means Weston leaves foreign relations.
And that's where Mitchell comes in.
Guys, it's like running the country with Barnum Bailey and his sister Sue.
Mr. President, the point is...
Leo, would it be possible for just two of them to speak at once?
Toby.
That was an hour and 10-minute meeting with Dick Rush, Ed, Marty Beach, and Henry Rodriguez. I've never seen both political and legislative liaisons so unanimous in a diagnosis.
They think you should call it.
Yeah. Mr. President, we have a better chance of winning now than a month from now.
Not only that,
Sam.
Sorry.
Toby.
Not only that, but here's what CJ can tell the press. The world is looking to the U.S. to ratify the treaty first. The longer we wait, the longer it takes other countries to ratify, the closer we get to more unstable countries like Pakistan developing a nuclear threat.
Arguments against.
We might lose the vote. That'll hang around our necks for 2 years.
The Senate will be pissed off. That might stall confirmation.
And can I just add that a senator-elect announcing what committee assignment he'd like is not what the founders would have considered an extraordinary occasion.
An extraordinary occasion is whatever the president says it is.
An extraordinary occasion, clearly the successful failure of a nuclear test treaty. This would be hard to justify.
Yes, sir.
Could I have a couple of aspirin or a weapon of some kind to kill people with?
Yes, sir.
Get a cigarette? First lady get to you?
Yes, sir.
Come on, cough them up.
Aren't those bad for the MS?
You want to play doctor, too? Suddenly, I've got 17 nursemaids. She didn't wake me up this morning.
Okay.
I was awake this morning. I could have...
What? Prime Minister Grady thinks you're an intellectual snob. A Yankee Doodle windbag. Likely as not, you would have made things worse.
If an American dies and there's even the slightest suspicion of international intrigue, she's supposed to wake me.
Since when? If I'd used that rule, you'd be dead by now from sleep deprivation.
Damn it, Leo. 5 minutes ago, you were telling me to leave it all out on the field. Now you're telling me to stay off it?
I'm telling you to let her do her job so you can do yours.
Excuse me. Do you have a minute, ma'am?
I sent him back to work.
Yes, I saw him. Thank you. Ma'am, I can't have you confusing my staff.
Okay.
If you have a question or concern, I need you to come to me.
What if I can't find you?
Find me.
You gonna take away my key to the executive washroom, too?
Ma'am, I made a mistake this morning.
He needed to sleep.
Yes, I agree with you. The mistake was not making the decision on my own.
You can't make these decisions by yourself.
I'm the chief of staff.
You're not a doctor.
It's not a medical decision. It's a question as to whether the leader of this country needs to be informed about something that puts the country's citizens in jeopardy. What he does with that information, how he manages his disease, those are his decisions.
He was up until midnight. He's not managing his disease.
You're gonna have to take that up with him, ma'am. I'm sorry. Excuse me. At the exact moment of the equinox. At the exact moment of the equinox.
Doesn't work.
It does work. It has to be the exact moment of the equinox.
Doesn't work.
I've seen it.
I tried it.
And?
Doesn't work.
I don't think you did it at the exact moment.
I did.
When?
Last September.
That was the autumnal equinox.
It only works for the vernal equinox?
Yeah.
You know what's more likely?
That it doesn't work at all?
That's right.
It does. I've seen it.
We've got pastrami from Krupin's. It's tissue paper thin. Roast beef, corned beef, turkey, Russian dressing, coleslaw, and seedless rye. And winning the hard-earned money of your coworkers. This is what I call a night off. Squeeze this piece of rye bread.
Now what do I do?
Excuse me, Leo.
Yeah.
Something that's true at the vernal equinox would have to also be true at the autumnal equinox.
Why?
Equinox means equal night. Night and day are both 12 hours long.
What does that have to do with it?
It doesn't work. I tried it.
Listen, there's a guy...
Hang on. CJ believes that at the exact moment of the vernal equinox...
And only at that moment...
You can stand an egg vertically.
Huh?
At the equinox, you can stand an egg on its end.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
You tried it?
I don't need to try it. You can't stand an egg on its end. And the elements involved with creating an equinox have no connection to the center of gravity of an egg.
I've seen it.
Well, I've seen guys make the ace of spades jump out of their shoes. I don't think it was the equinox.
Josh?
Yep.
Counsel's office wants to know if you can meet with a candidate for the associate's position tonight.
Tonight?
I explained it was your night off, but they said he's in town just the one night, and...
Yeah.
So can I take your seat when you're not playing?
I'm Miss Ainsley. That's who the counsel's office should get to fill that position. Another Ainsley, a sexy conservative with first-rate law credentials and a strange name.
So can I take your seat?
Who else is playing this game?
Anyone with currency.
Let me in the game, sir, I beg of you.
Why are you so eager to get in this game?
I enjoy poker, Mr. President, and your card skills are well known around the building, and frankly, I wanted to learn.
Seriously.
I enjoy poker.
This is a cash game, Debbie. These are hardworking people blowing off some steam and taking each other off their coin. We don't play for matchsticks, and we don't play for... Okay, can I ask you something? I forgot to have Charlie draw cash for me. Could you float me a little?
I can play.
Sir? Leo! CJ swears that on the equinox, which is today, you can stand an egg on end.
Debbie?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, you can play.
Thank you, sir.
We just lost an unmanned spy plane.
Where?
It was a Predator B UAV 12 miles off Kaliningrad. It's controlled by satellite, which can't always adjust to sudden weather changes, and this one veered off course and crashed inland.
Well, that's why these are unmanned, right? All we lost was money? Aren't they saying detonate the plane?
The plane was taking pictures of illegal nuclear transfers in the region, and we need the intelligence because I don't think we're going to get it again.
Well, what do they want me to do? Call Shagarin and ask if we can go in and get our spy plane back?
Yes, sir. Except you can't say spy plane.
Wait, you're serious? They want me to call Shagarin?
Yes.
And ask him for the plane back without telling him we were spying?
State and the Pentagon have some ideas on how you might try that.
Do they?
In the meantime, sir, you want to play some cards?
Hang on.